Hey, what's up? Revolution. Revolution. Today there's no music. There's fucking generator, even though the power's supposed to go off tomorrow, but I guess we gotta test the generator for a fucking hour. It's just me complaining for no reason. Why am I always complaining? Gotta be positive. But I'm just gonna open this box up. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Amazon, just mostly that they can fucking die. I hope Jeff Bezos gets his fucking head chopped off sooner rather than later, but whatever. I tried going to another website to buy this, and I still got it sent by Amazon fucking Prime. Which, why? I'm not a part of Prime. I'm not a part of Amazon. Why the fuck are you sending me this garbage? Is it because it's cheaper? I mean, I'm trying to help out low businesses, and I guess they're using it because it's cheaper, but it's still just, I'm trying to help the small business. I'm trying to help the bookstore. I'm trying to help the writer, which it's not. The writer's dead, so I'm not really helping him, just helping whoever the fuck owns it. So here we go. There's one. It's like a shitty angle. And here comes two. There's two. And then I guess we'll just do one kind of down the middle, or like this. Does that work? See, you can't even see it. It's totally worthless. I'm just doing stupid shit, but whatever. I don't care. As long as it gets on camera. There you go. Here we go. There you go. See what's up. Oh, it's a bunch of shit. Yay, 4th of July. Whatever, who cares? Send a thank you note. What? Wow, this isn't what I wanted. Thank you. They sent me the new updated version. Wow. They sent me the new version. They didn't even send me the one I want. But fuck it. Animal Farm, 1984. See, they even did that too. On the other one, there was like a dirt copy version. They put Animal Farm on top and then put 1984 on the bottom. So that's kind of weird. Christopher Hitchens, yeah, Papa, show me the good people and shit. Let's read the part of the introduction. These books can be read independently of their time and place as a strong preventive medicine against the mentality of servility, and especially against the lethal temptation to exchange freedom for security, a bargain that invariably ends up with the surrender of both. So you're just stealing from Ben Franklin, bruh. Which, I don't know, that could have been stolen too. Who the fuck knows? The past doesn't even exist. I don't know, I'm kind of pissed. thought they were sending me the copy that I originally had. I had a copy that was like in the brown, like paper cover. It's the one I ordered, and then of course Amazon took my order and screwed me over. But this will be a good read. Let me know in the comments. I know nobody's gonna even watch this video. If you want me to like read some of it, you do like an ASMR video or something. But alright, so instead of reading that and paying copyrights and whatever, I'm gonna read a couple poems. Some of these were ideas. Well, the idea became that I was going to use these as lyrics for Grievous by Spacetime. Like, I don't know what order it was in, and I'll wind up doing it. Like, I have to like arrange it right and like work it out, and then like I'll just do that version another time. So they're not going to be in the same order. This is just the original poems. So here we go. Elevate existence by not pandering to what is common among us all. Evolve and move the race, the whole human race. I'm glad I gotta fucking explain everything. Ahead into morality of high standard and what is unreal as opposed to reality. Is it meaningful? Is there? Is the shadows dance with the wind, the vibrations of immortality. We will live forever. We are the dancers. Check out, what is it? Hold on. UI Sun Wukong on YouTube. He's the man. Steph, I love you. I love you, man. This one's that We Are the Dancers. How do you feel about that? I didn't wear the shirt, but I'll wear it in another video. Like, well, I'll do something else. We'll figure something out. But this is just like fun time, wasting time shit that I enjoy because I don't really care what anybody says. So where were we? The free minds. Dark are our hearts, jaded by our peers, lacking integrity and embracing evil. We facing animosity, drugged by fake art, plastering the walls of children. And the fire walks forever, blinding the good in favor of liars. You lie, the masses follow. We think in such grand scale, we are the greatest. Greatness chosen by few. Nothing but serfs, nothing but titles. That's all that you are good for. A title is important, I hear. 1,000 people scream out louder than jets leaving the airport. You can hear them leaving day or night. Where are you going? Take me with you into the jet stream. Nothing but a speck, an atom. There's no middle ground. Pushing the waves as far as they can go. Or being insignificant, so small, a tiny little flea riding the waves of grass, bathing in the sunshine. Back to the earth. Above the rooftops, running along rooftops. I think this was actually, this third one, I think is the beginning, but I can't remember. I gotta listen to it again and decide, and then just do it and stop being a fucking weirdo. A series of pulses exploding across the sky, a flash of light, waves of sound zoom between the stars. Only for a moment, so short, we reach out and it's too late. Incomprehensible to human, infinite, the greatness, and death is on the welcome mat. Barren is the wasteland of the mind, control and illusion, disguised, and snuck, probably got banned for that. Disguised and snuck into your soul. No, vanquished. Snuffed out like the match for all time. Far out into the future. Here and there and back to complacency. A stagnant pond and nothing to pull out. Only drowning bodies suffered they had. So I think that was it. I might have put this one in there. I might have decided to change this. I'm going to read the whole thing. Parts of it I like crossed out. Might have used them in other things. Might have just thrown them in the garbage. But I'm just going to read the whole thing the way I wrote it. As Atlas holds up the sky, Poseidon riles up the armies. Send them to the underworld, a rabble-rouser. I was made in the shade. I looked down from my perch out to the horizon, a flash in an instant, smaller than the diameter of an atom. The armies laid to waste, all men leave the plane of reality. They have left behind the sky. Here, for an instant, we leave behind the sky. And then I wrote some other shit on the back. This was David Bowie wrote this in a song. He said, you are not a victim, you just scream out of boredom. No victimizing here, no victim shaming here, though. You are the hero of all time. I don't know. And then I wrote these things. My friends said this shit at a Wawa. One of them said, if dicks tasted like this, no boy would be single. And I thought that was hilarious, so I wrote it down. And then my other friend said, I love cops and I love scissoring. That's what happens when you're just trying to scream out in boredom. And then this is the last one. This was a poem. I'm going to read it the way I wrote it, because when I wrote it, I didn't know things, and I don't know, I might critique it as I'm reading it, but I don't know. Or I might read it and then do it at the end. That's what I should do. All right, but before I read it, this was a poem when Amiri Baraka died. And this was my immediate reaction when I heard that news. And like history lesson withstanding, Amiri Baraka his birth name was Leroy Jones, and he changed his name to Amiri Baraka. He was a poet in the 50s and 60s, and he wrote plays as well. I'm not really sure, and that's what I mean, history lesson withstanding. I can't remember every fucking detail of everything. I try my hardest to remember as much as I can, but it's kind of hard. So the only thing that I know about him is that he was considered a part of the Beats, and I was very much into the Beats, and I wanted to know everything that, like, take bits and pieces, try to read as much as I can, but I don't know, it's difficult. Or am I just wasting time? Or am I just being a fucking idiot, as always? And he wrote a couple things, and I had, like a compilation book of a bunch of stuff, and, he was in it, and it was just, like, blew my mind. Just really good shit, that you should check out. But when he died, this was my immediate reaction. And I've learned stuff since then, so I'm going to explain that at the end. To Amiri Baraka. Amiri Baraka is dead. Or is Leroy Jones dead? What is black? Race war. But I am a pacifist. I don't want to hurt anyone. We are brothers, born from the cells of the ocean, fish with legs. The human race, born in Africa, born as people. But now we have to hate each other? Why do you listen to white people? Why do you listen to black people? Why do you believe? Why do you? Why do I? Fuck this, fuck that. Don't believe what the bullshitters bullshit. My friend Amiri, you said that you must aid in destruction, but I say we must all aid in destruction. America the empire. America the liar. America, our home and prison. All right. So the part, or is Leroy Jones dead? I think what I was going for was that, is the human dead? And what I should have said was Leroy Jones already dead, because now he's Amiri Baraka. But I think what I meant is that all the times that you saw yourself as something, and just as a placeholder, because that's what it is to me. Like, when people ask me who I am, I'm just Dave. And it's because it's a placeholder. And it is, like, partially because it's already been accepted in a way. To me, the name is valueless, and it's just as a placeholder. Like, I wasn't the one that chose my name, just as much as anybody else who changes their name did not choose their original name. And to me, it's all about sovereignty. It's all about being a part of the debt to the United States government. Like, you're not your own person. And so, no matter who you are, you're owned by the collective state, which is supposed to be all of everybody, but nobody believes that they are the government. But that's, again, like, the name is a placeholder. Like, it's an identifier, but it's not the identity. It's not who you are. And I guess that's what changing your name does. But to me, I don't care enough to change my name and have people start calling me something else, because it's just a placeholder. It's just to get my attention, kind of thing. Like, if I'm at work, or even if I'm not at work, if I'm just walking around, like, people can be like, Dave, and then I'll know that they're talking to me, and I'm gonna go talk to them. But, like, that's the problem with the identifier, is that so many people are fucking named Dave, or whatever name that you are. How many few people have their own name that nobody else is named? Like, pilot inspector. Nobody's gonna name their fucking kid that, because that's fucking dumb. But, like, I don't know, like, to me, it was saying that all those years that he was Leroy Jones, he was still the same person that Amiri Baraka was, if that makes any sense. And I don't know, like, I'm just Dave, and this is my opinion, how I see things. And I wasn't there. I've never met him. I've never met anybody. So, and, like, you have your own perspective. You can only be yourself from your own perspective. So, like, don't give a shit about what I have to say. Don't care about it. Like, this is YouTube. Go to another fucking thing. Like, don't watch it. It's how I felt about TV. It's how I feel about radio. It's how I feel about anything. I hate that the right has co-opted free speech, when their whole thing is that it's only free speech for them. And I want to agree with a guy like Kyle Kalinske when he says, make Twitter the public square, because it's now the more updated, modern, actual public square. But to me, demonetizing and banning people from your business is not, like, Trump didn't get thrown in jail for lying on Twitter. The police didn't do their job. But also, that's not their job anyway. Like, that's a part of libel. Libel is not covered by free speech. If you were lying about shit, then even in the public square, isn't that against the First Amendment? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't fucking know. I thought libel was not covered. I thought lying was not covered. And lying when you know that you're lying. Maybe he's just an idiot and doesn't know anything. But this is again moving way far out of where we're coming from. But I was just saying, like, it's not my purpose to put people's words in their mouth. But also, the words that were in my mouth don't change. This person that wrote this didn't change. I'm still the same person that wrote this. I may have learned things and expanded on what I originally had been thinking at that time. But it's only because of the person I was at the time wanted to learn and wanted to be better and wanted to understand that maybe it was that Leroy Jones was already dead. He killed that part of him. But I don't believe that. I think that you become Amiri Baraka because in retaliation against, like when people say, oh, I don't like this music, so it doesn't influence me. No, it influenced you to make music that wasn't that. Like you're still being influenced. And then I wrote, what is black? And that's because I don't know. I don't understand it. To me, I'm not white, and white people are not white, especially white supremacists are not white. They're like this is white. Shit. This is white. This thing right there, that's white. That's not what I look like, even if I didn't have a tan. Like, the closest people look like to actually white are albinos, and they're not. They're not. And then it's not about albinism, because there's black albinos. And black has become... And it's because of white people that black has become a thing. And I've learned that. And I was just, like, really asking a question, like, what is it? Because to me, there's this thing about, like, in Head of State, Chris Rock says, if you ran for president and you lost, it doesn't matter because there's going to be another white guy and you don't affect it. But if I lose, there's never going to be another black person to run for president. Or, like, get this close or whatever it is. And I was like, then don't do it yourself. Don't play into identity politics. Like, they say that the left are the ones that give a shit about identity politics. That's a fucking lie. The right-wing controllers of European society that were bosses, kings, they invented identity politics. They invented it. And it makes no sense. Like, think about something like World War II, where the reason that there's so many black Englishmen, black Britons or whatever, is because after World War II, so many white British people that were Angles, they're not even Britons. They're German immigrants or French or whatever. I don't even know the full fucking timeline. That's another problem, is that nobody knows the fucking whole timeline. So they murdered all the white people. All the British and the Germans murdered each other in a war, because it doesn't distract from that it's a killing. It's a killing. Like, the war, all war is bullshit. Especially since the World War I was called the war to end all wars. After World War II, so many British men had died that England needed immigrants from the countries that they had taken over and were still considered colonies. They asked them to come there and replace them in a way, because there was nobody to work. There was nobody there anymore. And that's just, it's mind-boggling that they invented it and then said that everybody else was the one that was inventing it. I don't give a shit about it. And I get, like, that it's a reaction. And that's what I said about Che. Che didn't invent the atom bomb. The communists didn't invent the atom bomb. Or at least, if they did, even the USA doesn't acknowledge it. The USA is not saying, oh, the Russians invented it first. They got to it first. Because it didn't matter if they got to it first. As far as the history books are concerned, we lit off the first atom bomb, and then we used it, or, well, the USA lit off the first atom bomb, and then the USA blew up the first 2 atom bombs in war. Like, so to say that anything that's a reaction is worse is never the truth. It's like when you go to school and a bunch of fuckfaces are hitting you in the face and then you whoop their asses, you get in trouble. And it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It's the same playbook that the powerful have always been using when they get called out and they get their asses whooped. Or are getting their asses whooped. And the problem is that there's a fake power. There's the lib, the modern lib, who thinks that that invented this thing, wokeness or whatever, to try to say that they're the better thing, and then they still go along with all the shit. And then when the right calls you out on it, people that aren't even right-wing, people that don't like Trump either, will say, but no, Trump's right. And then I have to agree with him. Yes, Trump is right. That Hillary is scum and Nancy Pelosi is scum. But it's because they agree with you. They agree with right-wing politics. They agree with big business and wars and the big banks and not helping the people and pretending that they're still a part of the people. And a lot of it's cultural shit that has nothing to do with anything. And then they hide behind the culture shit. And then now they've co-opted this thing that was right-wing power. It was like, if we know where the term right-wing comes from, first of all, it has nothing to do with Marx. It's the French Revolution, where people that were not peasants, but were also not the royalty, decided to go and have talks because they were excluded from the French, the actual government. Their voice was not being heard, so they invented their own government in a tennis court, and the peasants and the poor all were on the left side, and on the right side were the clergy and the upper class that were not, and the middle classes that were not a part of the royalty, who still wanted royalty. They wanted power for their own. And that is bullshit. That's a part of the whole thing. So why would you be on their side unless you're one of them? And if you're not one of them, what are you doing? So that's that question. I should have added what is black, what is white, but it was just like my statement at the time. And then race war was, I'm not waiting for the race war, and I thought that one side was waiting for the race war, and it turned out that it was really actually the racists that were for the race war. And then they do that thing again where they blame the race war on the other side, that they say that it's the other side, that it's not white supremacists, that they don't want the race war, but they really do. Like, of course they do. Whatever. And then, like, anyone who says that I'm lying when I say that I'm a pacifist and I don't want to hurt anyone, they're bullshitters. And then I think that was it. Yeah, we must all aid in destruction. That's true. Like, but that's it. So check out Strictly Vibes and Nos Evi and read 1984 and yeah, I don't know. Take back the government. Make it ours again. Make it really what it's supposed to be. That you are the state. Everyone is the state. Because the state will, I don't know how you can say that you're against the state and then defend statues of Washington and Thomas Jefferson and shit. Because they're the state. I don't know. Just go read. Peace.